welcome back. It's been a few weeks since I have sat down and filmed any type of video. As you'll probably guess, I've been in Australia for just over 2 weeks. So the past few weeks there's been sweet FA on my channel, but yeah, I haven't been home and it was quite busy, and the run up to my trip as well, so I just didn't get around to really filming or pre-filming any content, so I do apologise for that. But if you are interested in kind of what I've been up to over the past few weeks, then do check out my Instagram. I have a highlight reel for Australia, and yeah, I was trying to kind of take pictures and videos. It was a bit more of a family trip. That was the whole point of why we went out there, so I didn't have loads to vlog or anything like that, so I tried to just film some clips of Sydney, and we saw some koalas, which was really cute. So today I thought that I would share all of the makeup that I packed with me for my 2-week trip. This is the makeup bag that I brought with me. This is a rose ink bag, I believe, which is quite nice and squishy. I then had like a clear pouch with me on the aeroplane, which had like a couple of bits, like, you know, a tinted lip balm. I did put my blush and bronzer in there and my concealer on the way out, because when we landed in Sydney it was like 8 AM and we were seeing people straight away, so before we got off the plane I did apply a tiny bit of makeup, but I don't normally do that. It was just because I wanted to look and feel a little bit more fresh, and after travelling for 24 hours I did not look or feel fresh, so I needed a little bit of a pick-me-up. So yeah, I thought I would go through all of the products that I packed with me. Like I said, it was quite a chilled holiday. We didn't do many kind of evenings out or, you know, special occasion stuff. I didn't really pack makeup for full glam or anything like that. It's quite chilled, very easy, and just reminiscent of the makeup that I would do in the UK. But I thought it would be quite interesting to show you everything that I packed. I also hope you enjoyed my little kind of montage of clips at the start of this video. I did film like some little clips, and obviously it's nice to have those memories as well. If you were expecting like a 30-minute travel vlog, I'm really sorry. I'm sorry to disappoint, but those were all of the clips that I got. Again, we weren't doing like a whole lot of sightseeing and stuff like that, so there wasn't really much to film anyway, so trust me, you didn't miss much. And the clips that I did film were, you know, the kind of highlights of the trip and the things that we saw. So yeah, so I hope you enjoyed those. Again, do follow my Instagram as well, because I have some other photos and things like that on there. And without rambling on for too much longer, let's get into it. Do like the video and subscribe if you're not already. My name is Millie and I do beauty videos and the occasional lifestyle and kind of routine video as well. So I really hope that you enjoy, and let's get into it. So I didn't actually use a primer at all. I didn't pack one with me. I find my SPF to be really hydrating, and it was the winter as well when we were in Australia, so I felt like my SPF was the perfect kind of base that I needed. So the one that I took with me is the Bondi Sands SPF 50. I did go for the Bondi Sands because it was quite on brand. I'm running low on this. Ooh, noise. This has a really nice thick hydrating texture, and for me it does act really nicely as a primer as well, because it feels just like a nice hydrating layer on the skin. It does make you very glowy. So I would recommend just leaving this on your skin for 5-10 minutes just to let it really sink in. Otherwise you might find that your makeup products might slip and slide just a little bit. Even though it was the winter, when the sun was out, you could feel that it was definitely stronger than it is in the UK. So that's the Bondi Sands freshly applied to my skin. I don't find it irritates my eye area at all, and I just really love how this makes my skin look. And because it wasn't super hot, I wasn't worried about my makeup melting off. I wasn't worried about excess sweat or oil or anything like that. So yes, this SPF held up really well for me. So I did bring my Rose Ink foundation with me, but I only wore this once. I think I wore this when we went out to Bondi one evening. That was the only time. that I wore this foundation. So yeah, I probably wouldn't rush to pack a foundation like this again if I'm traveling. The concealer that I brought with me works really well as kind of like an all over skin product. So I think that's why I didn't opt for my foundation at all. A hefty like glass bottle as well. So probably not a smart choice on my part, but we live and we learn. So the base product that I did end up using every day and I found just gave me the perfect amount of coverage. I will say the water in Australia is absolutely incredible. It's so soft, so I felt like my skin was really thriving. When I was washing my face, I literally could have stood over that sink for about 15 minutes because the water was just so lovely and my skin just felt amazing. So because of that, I didn't feel like I needed a lot of coverage. I felt like my skin was doing okay. Again, I wasn't dealing with any excess sweat, so yeah, I just felt like I didn't need too much on my skin. So in addition to the SPF, I did go in with my NYX Bear With Me Serum Concealer. Of course, I packed this. I mean, I would have been a fool not to. I am obsessed with this concealer, and it was just the perfect everyday product to cover my under eyes. I was very tired. Obviously, jet lag is a thing, and I did sleep a little bit on the way out there, but once we arrived for the first few days, I was definitely struggling a little bit with lack of sleep, so I did need something to cover my dark circles, and this just worked every time. I also packed my Hourglass palette because the mirror is just really nice and large, so it was just perfect for kind of doing your makeup in a hotel room or whatever. So this is in the shade Light, which I believe is number 2. Yes, number 2. So I just took one pump on the back of my hand, and I mainly focused this, as I said, underneath my eyes because that was definitely where I needed quite a lot of help. And then if I did want to add a bit more coverage around the face, this concealer is really lovely for that as well because it's really lightweight and doesn't add like a thick layer on the skin. So I just really liked how this made my skin look when I was out there. I'm going to take my sponge. This is just the Real Techniques one. I'm going to leave the concealer under my eyes for just a tiny bit longer. I find that if you leave it to get a bit tacky, it adds a tiny bit more coverage. I don't know, it just helps because you're not kind of shearing and blending the product out straight away. I feel like this concealer with the Bondi Sands SPF just gave me like the healthiest looking skin. I mean, even today, and it is a lot warmer in the UK at the moment, you know, these products are going to look a little bit different. So that was pretty much all I did on my base every single day. I really didn't do too much. It was a really chilled holiday. We were spending a lot of time with family, so we weren't doing any like extreme evening events or, you know, going out all the time. It was kind of like home from home, if that makes sense, because we were just, you know, spending time with family, just chilling. So it wasn't, I didn't feel like I needed to apply like a full face of makeup every day. I did apply a little bit more when we were in Sydney, like when we were in the city, just because we were out and about a bit more. We did go out for a couple of dinners and things like that, so I did apply a little bit more makeup for those occasions, but I would say like 90% of the time I really wasn't doing too much. So I picked up a new bronzer when I was out there actually, so I did pack. I'll show you what I packed because that's obviously the point of the video. I packed my Nude Sticks Bondi Bay, which has been on its way out for quite a while, and I'm officially going to retire this now, so that's going to end up in the empties drawer. And I did pick up the Rare Beauty stick in Sephora. This is in the shade Happy Soul, which is the bronzer. That's the shade there. I think this is going to be a nice summer shade for me. I'm not sure in the winter, I don't know. I'll have to play around with it in the winter, but it might be a bit dark. But I think I'm going to actually set my skin with a bit of powder first. Just because, again, we're working with a different climate today. My skin does get really oily in the summer here. It's something that I've noticed as I'm starting to get a bit older. I'm just sweaty, I don't know. Just a sweaty gal. So I packed my Bite Beauty powder. Oh, this dent is not going down anytime soon, and it's really annoying because I do use this powder quite a lot. But yeah, I'm just gonna set my under eyes basically anywhere where I put the NYX concealer. So like I was saying, for my bronzer, I picked up the Rare Beauty one from, I think I got it from Sephora, not Mecca. I did go into Mecca for like the first time, which was quite exciting. So yes, but I did pick this up from Sephora. This is my first ever Rare Beauty purchase, so quite happy with that. I personally think stick products for travel are definitely the way to go. If I had a stick foundation, I probably would have packed that as well, and I feel like I would have reached for that over the Rose Inc one that I did end up packing. They're just really easy to travel. They obviously don't contribute to your liquids allowance, so if you're just traveling hand luggage, which to be honest 90% of the time I do travel with just like a carry-on bag, so I do need to be a little bit more mindful of the makeup that I'm packing. So I'm just taking this before I keep rambling on my NYX 04 brush, and I'm just kind of stippling the product on there. So yeah, stick products I find are really excellent for travel because they don't really break, like they're not going to leak everywhere. You don't need to worry about liquids or anything like that. So yeah, if I had a stick foundation I would have packed that for sure, but I don't own one, so I really like the tone of this actually. This is a lovely bronzer. It has a bit of a red undertone to it, which you can really see when you blend it out. So again, in the summer I think this is going to look really nice because it's going to give you a bit more of a kind of sunburnt look. I just loved all of the cream products that I took with me. I just found that they made my skin look so healthy and really fresh. So along those lines, I did pack 2 blushes with me. So 2 cream blushes, and then obviously I have my Hourglass palette here as well, which has a few blush options in there. So the 2 that I packed with me was a Refi cream blush in Malaya, or Malia, I don't know, which is just a nice everyday, really kind of soft rosy pink. And then if I wanted something a bit different, I packed my Armani Luminous Silk cheek tint in the shade 50.5, which is a lot more coral. Let me swatch the 2. The texture of these 2 are also obviously very different. So those are the shades there. So this is the, let's just check I've done the right one. So this is the Refi, and this one here on the left is the Armani. And yeah, the Armani one, as you can see, it's a lot more fluid, and it has a really nice, very bright kind of neon base to it, so it's very saturated. But those are the 2 shades I picked. I feel like they were different enough to warrant packing both, so that's what I did. And I did pack the Refi one in my carry-on actually, because we were landing in Sydney at like 8 AM. And we were seeing people straight away, so I did pack a couple of makeup products just that I could apply quickly before we landed. I'm going to apply the Armani one today. I don't know if I've featured these yet on my channel. Maybe I have. But I'm just going to do, let me get my brush ready. I really like the Rose Inc No. 3 brushes for cream blush because I just like the angle of them. I think they work really nicely. So I'm just going to do a couple of little dots on my cheek. These are quite pigmented actually. I was surprised about that. But they do blend out really nicely, and they stay put as well actually. If you've used the luminous eye tints, those are very long lasting, and I feel like these have the same lasting power. And then I'm just going to take my sponge again just to kind of dull that down a little bit. I see I'm already like getting so oily. Oh dear. Just using a bit more powder because in the viewfinder it looks like I've never actually been introduced to powder ever in my life. So that was all I did for my base. I didn't pack any highlight. I also didn't pack a setting spray with me. I was planning on buying the Charlotte Tilbury mini one. I didn't get around to it, and to be honest, like I said, the weather wasn't super hot, so I didn't need to worry too much about my makeup sweating off throughout the day, so I didn't end up using a setting spray at all. In my brows, I did pack my Glossier Boy Brow. This is such a lovely little travel, I was gonna say travel size. It's not a travel size product, but like this is the full size, but it's lovely for travel, if that makes sense. And I'm very low maintenance with my brows, to be honest. So this was all I needed. It's drying up a little bit though. I probably need to get some more. They were actually launching Glossier like the week after we left in Sephora in Sydney. So I was watching Emily Weiss, her Instagram stories, and she was arriving in Sydney to launch Glossier. Was it in Sephora or Mecca? I don't know, I don't remember. But yeah, that was just after we were leaving. Now I did pack quite a few different eye options actually. Even though I wasn't doing much makeup on the whole, I did pack just a few single cream shadows, just some options. My Revlon shadow in Praline, which is a really lovely, I've got too many things in my hands. A really lovely kind of light shimmery taupe. I also packed my Oyster Pearl from Charlotte Tilbury, which I used if I wanted something a little bit more enhanced, I suppose. So this is just a nice bronze shimmer cream shadow. And then I ended up using this as a liner quite a lot. This is the Bobbi Brown Longwear Shadow Stick in Dusty Mauve, which is a really nice purple mauve, as the name would suggest. I love the mini size of this. It made it really easy to just throw in my makeup bag, and I find this colour really brings out my eyes. So I did actually end up using that quite a lot, which is funny because it's obviously like a purple eyeshadow, but I just found it enhanced my eyes really well. I think today I'm just going to go in with the Bobbi Brown stick because that's just quite easy, and again this is actually what I reached for most days. And I just lined my upper lash line, and then I just took a little fluffy brush, just kind of blended it out. And you can pretty much do this until your heart's content. These shadow sticks are so easy to use that you really don't have to be an expert, and you can just layer and blend, and you know, they work really well. I then just take a bit under my lash line as well, and that's kind of all I did. So I mean, really quick, but I find it just enhanced my eyes in a really nice way. So that's the eyeliner done. My mascara, I must have taken it out already, because I only have one mascara, and that's the Maybelline Sky High, and it started to dry out a little bit now, so I'm really enjoying it. When I first picked it up, it was really wet, and I just didn't, I don't know, I found it a bit of a chore to use, but now that it's dried up a little bit, I'm really enjoying that one. So that was one that I packed with me. Again, I don't have it in my bag right here. I can't be bothered to go and grab it. So it will just be mascara-less. And to be honest, I don't always wear mascara in the summer because I do find my skin gets a bit more oily. Sometimes it can just be a bit of a risk to use mascara. So to mitigate that, I just don't use it. For lips, I packed quite a lot of lip products. Are we surprised? So let's see what we have here. These were the lip products that I packed with me. First off, I packed a lip balm, of course. So this is the Sun Bum Cocoa Balm. Just a really nice, easy, I've already got lip balm on, so I'm not gonna apply this, but just really easy kind of chapstick type balm. Smells really nice as well. I packed 3 lip liners, and I think I only used maybe 1 or 2 of these, to be honest. So I packed my 2 NYX lip liners, which I love. So I have the shade Natural, which is just a really good, easy everyday shade. I then have Leon, which is a bit more like, I don't know, a bit more of a toasty nude. So that's the one on the bottom. A bit more of a toasty nude. It works really well with warmer lip shades. I then packed Super Size Me from Charlotte Tilbury, which is more pinky. So those are the 3 lip liners that I packed. So on the top I have NYX Natural, then Leon from NYX, and Super Size Me from Charlotte Tilbury. So to go along with those, I packed 4 different lip options. So I packed 2 lipsticks. These are actually from different brands, but they look very similar. The first one that I packed was Stoned Rose from Charlotte Tilbury. That's that one there. I love this paired with Leon lip liner. It's a really nice kind of warm toasty combination. I also packed my Vive lipstick in 90, which is a bit more, well, it's very pinky, kind of like a pinky peach. So that's a nice everyday shade. And both of these lipsticks have a really nice creamy hydrating formula, so I found them just really nice and comfortable to wear. I then have got a lip oil and a lip gloss. This lip oil is actually really good for travel because it doesn't leak. And my Clarins ones, which I love, leak horrendously. So I was happy that this little e.l.f. one didn't. So this is in Red Delicious. And even though it says Red Delicious, I don't know, it's a bit more of like a bit more pinky. It's not like a true red or anything like that. So that's the swatch there. And I mean, as you can see, it's quite sheer. It doesn't have a ton of colour payoff, but it just gives your lips a nice pink hue. And then for a nice everyday pick, I put in my Lisa Eldridge lip gloss in Muse, which is running a little bit low actually. I found that this worked really nicely with all of the lip liners. It's just a really nice kind of like tawny, rosy nude. So I really, really like that. And the Lisa Eldridge glosses are really creamy and just feel really nice on the lips. So I think today I'm just going to use my Charlotte Tilbury Supersize Me. And I'm going to top that off with the e.l.f. lip oil in Red Delicious. These have a nice minty scent, but they're not plumping, so don't worry about that. But they do taste like mint chocolate ice cream. I would say I wore the e.l.f. lip oil most days because it just feels really nice and comfortable. I like the glossy effect that it has, and it was also really easy to throw in my bag. So that was everything that I packed. Other than the foundation, I pretty much used everything. I tried to be quite good before I went out in kind of knowing that it was going to be a bit more of a chilled, laid back type of holiday, so I didn't need to go all out with my makeup all the time. Some days I did less than this, some days I did a little bit more. It just depended on what we were doing and how tired I was in the morning. So I really hope that you enjoy. Regular programming will resume. Yes, I'm hoping to get back to my weekly videos. I am thinking of like changing things up a little bit, but I think I'll do like a dedicated video just chatting about how I'm feeling about YouTube and Instagram and social media as a whole, because it's an ever-changing beast. And yeah, I feel like I am in a place where I want to just switch things up a little bit and try some new things, and just put myself out there a little bit more. So yeah, do subscribe if you're not already. So yeah, I really hope that you enjoyed, and I will see you in my next one. Bye.